All right. Welcome back. Welcome back. I shared this article with the members last night. I didn't go over it. I did not read it. I just shared it with them last night. A link to this article. And it was written in 2018. And I want to talk about it because I don't like when they try to pretend like they understand me. And I'm not saying that they wrote this about me, but I don't like dogs. And every day I spend a lot of time explaining to people and trying to get them to understand why I dislike dogs. Right? I spent a lot of time. Can you remember how many hours I've spent trying to get the dog world to understand why I dislike dogs and why some other people dislike dogs? So we are the people who you should get your information from. Don't pretend, don't be arrogant about it. It's the arrogance, academic arrogance that I'm talking about. And it runs rampant in colleges. When I was in college, I took a lot of classes that required a lot of group participation, where you form groups of 4, maybe 5 people. You'll have some project or whatever. I did that a lot. And I saw a lot of these types of people who, rather than putting real research behind what they say, rather than being motivated or having their thoughts influenced by research, instead they basically make wild guesses based on their emotions. And that's a problem. That's a problem for anybody. Okay? Why do some dislike dogs? The psychology behind not liking dogs. I mean, think about that. You've never, as a psychologist or head doctor, sat me down in your chair and told me to relax and explain to you why I don't like dogs. But they're about to pretend like they know the mind of dog culture critics of dog culture. Subtitle: I have never understood why some people just don't care for animals. Dogs and cats specifically. I just can't relate. No, you allegedly don't understand why some people don't like dogs. Forget about cats. People who dislike cats, there is some type of psychological thing there. With dogs, there's very tangible reasons why they dislike them. Their reason for disliking dogs can be proven and substantiated, and it's logical. What is not logical is pretending that they're harmless. What's my proof? Google dog attack person, child, and click images. Pictures worth 1,000 words. I can prove that it's dangerous being a dog lover. You cannot prove that it's harmful in any way, physically or mentally or emotionally. It's not harmful in any way to dislike dogs. In fact, that's exactly what we're supposed to do. We as a country, a civilization, should have mercilessly driven these things into extinction a long time ago. Each and every one of these worthless, unnatural, were not created by God, were not created by nature, repugnant mutants. Each and every one of them, we should have driven them clean off the face of the earth and had a year-long celebration afterwards. Look at them. Just cannot wait to this day to attack people unprovoked for no reason. The same people who has been giving them free food and shelter for decades. Y'all don't want a discussion as to why we should have driven them into extinction by now. And this is not even dealing with how sick they've made so many of us over the decades. How many people they've sent to the grave over the decades. I don't like dogs. 5 reasons why. And look at what I'm not talking about animal haters. I could never attempt to rationalize the hating of any animal. It's only dogs. Okay? I'm an anti-dog person. Do not, and I'm so sick of people doing this, do not try to apply my dislike for dogs to other natural animals. Y'all always try that because you look for some way to one-up dog critics. So you start this straw man stuff and putting words in their mouth. I'm speaking of those non-pet lovers who are not bad people. They're just indifferent towards animals. Okay, and look at this. And look at how the person who wrote this basically admits. I've come up with 5 reasons that some people may shy away from a dog. You're exactly right. You came up with all this. And that's exactly the problem. Stop coming up with stuff. All of you, stop. I don't do that. I research you. I research dog culture. I let y'all's behavior speak for itself. I just explain what you're doing. Okay? We're not like you. I prove everything I say about dog culture. Reason number 1, lack of association with dogs. And that first one, number 1, proves that you don't know what you're talking about. All your head doctors and your trainers, y'all been doing this for a long time, thinking you know everything. It's that academic arrogance. People sitting at home thinking they know everything, making up hypothetical scenarios in their head and saying, oh, that makes sense. Well, if you pull on a dog's ear, it'll probably bite you. So let's just say that'll get you bitten. Even though I've never seen it happen, even though I don't have any reports of it happening, oh, it just makes sense, doesn't it? That's their academic strategy. That's how they come up with these articles, because they're not getting it from testimony from real people. People who dislike dogs have all had experience with dogs. How can you not know that? It don't come from no lack of association with dogs. There's a lot of animals that I've never been around in person. I don't dislike any of them. Why would I? It makes no sense for people who have never experienced a dog, never seen one, never been around one. Makes no sense for them to just dislike dogs. Like, what are you talking about? No, we've all had experiences with dogs. So skip right past that one. And it's so ridiculous. Oh, you already know what type of explanation they give. They have not been exposed to how wonderful dogs are. Oh, they've not experienced the joy and the warm love of a fur baby, right? This is that warm, wonderful love that they're talking about. And this is the best example you can find anywhere. This is exactly what they're talking about. And clearly you see that this is not a pleasant experience. Now, she may say that it's pleasant to her, and maybe her oxytocin is risen in these moments. But actions speak louder than words. She's turning away from these so-called kisses, completely turning her head away. That's irrefutable. Here it is again. Right? She wants to give no face, even though many of them do this. Many of them do open their mouth and let their dog lick them right in the face. Many of them do. But 99% of them, or at least overnight, they do this. They'll turn away, pull away, back away. Most of them give resistance to these so-called kisses. Do you do this even slightly when you kiss humans? That's a simple question. I'm a heterosexual. So guys, other heterosexuals, do you do this when you are kissing a woman? Does she do this? When you try to kiss her, does she back away? Does she pull away? Does she turn her head away? Does she do that? The dog lovers say that this is dog kisses. Okay, really? That's a strange way to respond to a kiss. Like I said, this is how most of them do. Okay, so no, ma'am. No, ma'am. You're right, I haven't experienced that, and I don't want to experience that. That's what you all need to understand. You need to understand that people are different. What you may find enjoyable, others may not. All right? So yeah. Number 2, the belief that dogs are dirty and should be left outside. Again, that's not a belief. That's a fact. And it can be proven. Now, what they wrote here is infuriated me, at least. A friend of mine thinks dogs and cats are cute, but has no interest in interacting with them. She was raised to think that pets in the home are dirty and that dogs should be lived. Stop using these words interchangeably. I have to stop reading for a minute. Y'all need to stop doing this. We're only talking about dogs. You're only talking about dogs. Stick with the subject. Stop trying to apply our dislike for dogs and saying it's the same thing. We dislike all animals. Get out of here with that. Again, we speak for ourselves. I speak for myself. Stop putting words into my mouth. I respect natural animals, not dogs. And yes, they should be left outside. Continuing on, she said it's easy to understand how a person could not develop any kind of attachment to a dog if they have no life associations with them. Yeah, but no, that's just not the case. Many of us really do have experiences with them and dislike them because of those experiences. Stop thinking that everybody who has a dumb dog jumping on them and violating them like that loves it. Like, how can you not know? You should be able to safely assume that some people don't like this. A wiggly, nasty, stinking dog trying to lick their face. Even you, as the dog lovers, turn your face away. Body language that you don't want it. But you're telling and forcing yourself that you love it so much. Even your body language says you don't want to be licked in the face. That's how much y'all go against your natural instincts. It's crazy. Continuing on, believe it or not, my family dog was considered an outdoor dog. Listen to this. Talking to like that's so unbelievable. Considered an outdoor dog. That's exactly where they belong. 100%. Said, I think that was pretty typical back then. to have outdoor dogs and to view them as creatures that belong outside. Tippy was allowed to come in the back door, but could go no further than the utility room or just inside the adjacent kitchen, where there was tile flooring. But he certainly was not allowed on the carpet. Yeah, that makes sense. And there's good reasons why you don't want to let dogs walk into your home. They've already done studies showing how contaminated your homes are with dog excrement, urine, and saliva exists all over everything in your home, and it's making all of you sick every year, all year. That has been reported, and I've shared articles where they're talking about this. That can be proven. We don't deal with hypothetical scenarios. We don't sit up and imagine things. Y'all need to get that through your heads. Listen, as you dog lovers acknowledge the presence of dog culture critics, you need to stop trying to speak for us. Stop trying to act like you know everything. We tell you everything. Lord, I'm continuing with this article. We spent lots of time with our dog outdoors, though, and have some great memories of our life with the dog. My mother loved dogs, and she would call the dog in every evening to have a good meal and to sleep in a comfy bed. This is disgusting. It's unclean and dangerous. Okay? Simple as that, and I can prove that. It's flat out disgusting to have traces of dog excrement, urine, and saliva on your sheets, on your pillows. And when they did that study or research, they said there was an extra, more above average amount of dander, excrement, urine, and saliva on people's pillows. It's disgusting. They're talking like this is a normal thing to do. Letting dogs sleep in your bed and keeping them outside is abnormal. No, you backwards. Let me be nice. Let me be nice this afternoon. In the utility room, of course. Look at this. Dogs smell. Yes, they do. Oh, yes, they do. But this person admits, look at this. This is a good admission. He said, can you believe the extent to which these people loathe the way a dog smells? I.e., dog smell has always made me gag. It's pretty putrid and rotten smell. Now, that was this writer quoting someone else. That statement right there, the dog smell made me gag. Pretty putrid and rotten smell. What? I guess humans would smell bad too if they got a bath once a month or less. No, dogs stink immediately after baths. That stupid lotion, see, that's what y'all gotta give them a bath. Then you gotta put some type of deodorizer on these stinking mutts. Don't do that and then tell me, oh, look how good it smells. No. And you don't give cats baths. They don't smell nearly as bad as dogs. I mean, all animals have a different smell, but dogs is a unique smell because what you're smelling is dog excrement. Doesn't it smell like excrement? That dog smell. Can't you smell excrement in it? I can. Right? You can smell the urine in that smell. It's like a combination of urine and excrement and saliva. That's the typical dog smell that all of us are familiar with. That's why it smells like that. Because understand, when physical particles, excrement, urine is going up your nose and you're inhaling it, breathing it, You're tasting it. Big part of your tasting is smelling it as you eat it and swallow it. Plug your nose and eat. You're not going to be able to taste it. Not nearly as much. This is disgusting. Maybe I'm one of those dog. I'm continuing with this article. Look at what this person wrote. Maybe I'm one of those dog owners spoken about in the article who have become immune to the stench. Like the recent Febreze commercial. I've gone nose blind. If that's true, I'm sure I'm not the only one. So this person admits that they stink. And admits that they've gotten used to it. Just like we pointed out years ago. Okay, here's one dog lover who admitted it. Now, number 4, bad past experiences is really over the top. It's over the top. And they gave 2 number 4s. You see that? Number 4, number 4. Okay, then number 5. So they gave 6 reasons. All right. Okay, bad experiences. Sometimes the reason that someone is not warm and fuzzy about dogs is because of a bad experience in the past. It may even be a suppressed memory that they cannot pinpoint, but the apprehension remains. Sometimes a fear of animals is handed down from their mom or dad. No, their parents simply teach them. That's what happens. Okay, continue. For example, if mom was severely bitten by a dog, in other words, if mom learned a lesson about being around dogs and thinking she got control of their minds, she would be hypervigilant at protecting her own child from them, as all parents should. What's the proof? Look at the victims. Look at what happens when you're around dogs compared to what happens when you're not around them. Okay? What in the world? Why? Why can't they just get it? The child then naturally assumes that dogs are bad and that you should stay away from them. No, the child learns. They grow up and learn why mom and dad kept me away or kept dogs away from me. Oh, that's why. Because when they reach a certain age, then you can show them all these chopped up, mutilated faces. See, kids that are not on the internet, they never, ever, ever see a mutilated kid. At some point, you're only going to be able to show them multiple mutilated kids that their age, their peers, when they hit a certain age. And then you tell them, this is why I have told you you're not going over anyone's house with a dog. Go over the stories, the thousands of reports of where kids went over to someone's house and was attacked. Thousands of reports of people they're being attacked by their family dog. That most attacks are about a family dog inside the home. You see, little Johnny, that's why I said you can't have dogs. Matter of fact, this is why I don't allow you to watch dogs in cartoons. As an anti-dog person, I'm going to police my TV that way. You better believe it. They're not watching no dogs on cartoon. They're not watching. I'm not going to let them watch dogs being projected in a positive manner at all. The only thing I'm going to show my child is the victims. The dog attack victims. And I'm going to show them nothing but that. And that's exactly what the public schools should be doing. In schools all around the country. That's exactly what they should be doing. Okay, but because they don't, I hold free classes here online. And guess what? There are going to be a lot of kids, a lot of young people attending these classes, and they're going to grow up anti-dog. We're coming. We're here. Dog culture critics are here. We ain't going nowhere. We only going to grow. Shout out to Wandering Fuels in the super chat. Oh, wow. Said, I appreciate you putting in work for over half a decade. I didn't even realize that. Yeah, we've been going at it for a long time. And we're all putting in this work. Thank you very much, Wandering Fuels. So I'm seeing progress on other channels. Make that, but yes. Yeah. Oh, it feels so good. See our numbers rising. Because you can't deny it. It's common sense. We should have been following common sense from the very start, man. It shouldn't have got this worse. Said the child then, okay, look. The child then naturally assumes that dogs are bad and that you should stay away from them. The fear of dogs can run pretty deep. Now, you see that's a link right there. And we're going to check out that link here in a second. Now, they gave 2 number 4s. Dogs are misbehaved. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. You can just look at their track record. Look at their criminal record. We do that with humans, don't we? Okay? If we want to target an organization and we find out that they're responsible at very disproportionate rates, just going out here attacking people, yeah. You look at their behavior. But they say, I must admit, dogs that are left to their own devices can be terribly annoying. No, you mean dogs in their natural state, untrained, unmanipulated by food, by people holding food and wagging food in their face. Dogs in their natural state are annoying. See, dog lovers don't even truly love dogs. Y'all only love dogs that have been manipulated with food, using food. Oh, y'all call it being well trained. That's pathetic. Again, you don't have to do that with any other animals, and other animals are not annoying. It's so backwards. We got all the reason in the world to dislike these things, and y'all just have to go against nature, don't you? Just hate nature, anything natural. Sick. And of course, this person points out dogs that run around in the neighborhood, dig up flies. Of course, that's a reason to dislike dogs. Sniffing your privates. Okay. And look at what they said. Look at what they said. This type of bad behavior is not the dog's fault. Yes, it is. No, it's not the dog's fault. It's the owner's fault. Yeah, for owning it. And it's the dog's fault for being dumb, a dumb, deranged mutant. Now, it didn't choose to be that, but it still has to go. And what's with this, stop with this fault word. When you say fault, if that's supposed to mean that the dog's presence is unacceptable, then yes, the dog is at fault. And it's always at fault. Look, if I carry out a violent crime, nobody else gets blamed. Y'all not blaming my parents. Like, stop with that. Yeah, it is the dog's fault. But they admit, or they say, without good dog training, a dog does not know what is expected of him. Dogs never know what's expected. They don't think like that. Now, this is just unrealistic. This is what I'm talking about. Dogs don't think like that. You simply manipulate them with food. You manipulate them with food. And you can never do that like 100%. You never have complete control over their minds. But they say that not when a dog doesn't know what's expected of them, that makes them more anxious. and obnoxious to deal with, as the dog does only what it knows to do and is confused by our discipline. Ma'am or sir, Glenn out. Sir, no. Stop with the word salad. It's very simple. Dogs are annoying. And the only time that people can halfway tolerate them is when they're heavily drugged up. Heavily drugged up, or have been manipulated by food, or maybe even slapped around. I mean, face it, a lot of people slap their dogs around and instill fear in them. But a lot of times, those people are not the ones getting attacked by their own dogs. So stop it. And I don't know why they added this one. Genetics said this is interesting. Recent research suggested that our love for dogs has a genetic basis. Some people, regardless of their upbringing, seem predisposed to seek out the company of dogs. Others less so. No, it's probably parasites. Yeah, that might have something to do with it. Parasites and or your upbringing. Definitely your upbringing. But the parasites might play a role. Like I said, I'm not a scientist. But we need scientists looking into this stuff. What type of effect do these parasites have on people? Because when parasites get into any other organism, it's not a good thing. It's not benefiting. Not to my knowledge. Are there parasites that benefits their host or whatever they get inside of? I don't think so. And it's a fact that dog lovers have been passed parasites from their dogs. All that saliva and y'all rolling around in bed with them and all this type of stuff, you better believe it. And the doctors have said that it makes so many of you, millions of you, sick every year. And I said millions, just in the United States alone. But it's not talked about because you're not supposed to talk about dogs in a negative light. Okay, that's why normal people, everyday people like me and you have to do it. Are you sometimes afraid of dogs? Now, this is that link that was on this article that said the fear of dogs can run pretty deep. And it's a different article. Are you sometimes afraid of dogs? I'm a dog lover. The kinds of squeals when I see a dog. The kind that always has, I'm a dog lover, always has to, look at this. Yeah, and this same person talking about themselves, saying that I'm the kind of dog lover that has to pet any dog within my reach. There you go. You're a dog lover. Don't talk for me. Don't act like you can speak for me. Okay, stop it. Now look at this. The fear of dogs. Oh my goodness. You know what? They admit that your gut feeling is a rational feeling. Look at this. Look what they wrote in here. This is unbelievable to me. This is truly shocking. Look at what they wrote here. Right here. Call it fear, intuition, a gut feeling, or whatever. This type of sixth sense occurs to protect us. Okay? They're talking about when they feel scared approaching a dog or around a dog. They're even acknowledging, look at this. Here's a little science for you. What is this? Amygdala? I don't know how to pronounce that. Amygdala? Region of our brain. It's a region of our brain is associated with threat detection and fear. It alerts us to situations that may be harmful Yes. It lets us know of potential risk or harm. Yes. Your amygdala is on high alert. It actually controls your impulses. In the above case, my amygdala sent me that hunch. It said something isn't right. He's talking about the dog. He's talking about the dog. Then it kept me from my normal impulse of approaching and petting the dog. The point is, however, is that I had no tangible reason for feeling afraid. The dog was not threatening to me in any recognizable way. Again, that is a lie. That's a reversal of the truth. The truth is that it is tangibly dangerous. It is for a tangible reason. Google dog attack person. Are you an old person, Glenn Allen? Dog attack elderly person? And you tell me if those injuries are not tangible. That's what you call not tangible? Even if a dog is not being aggressive towards you, it could at any moment. Nobody should have to tell you that. The fact that it's a dog, you don't understand its brain, and that this happens 14,000 times every day in the United States. Over 2,000 people need emergency care treatment here in the United States, need to be patched back up. See, that this comes from ignorance. You saying that the thing is not threat, it's a threat. It's a threat, period. Cut and dry. You're promoting this idea of recognizing that dogs are threats when it's too late. Just walk and dance and hug them, stare at them in the face and kiss on them until they latch on to your face. Suddenly, now you have a tangible reason for feeling afraid, but guess what? It's too late. You're getting torn apart already. You were supposed to point and recognize that long before that so that you wouldn't be all up in the dog's face. You don't understand how that works. Dog people, do y'all's brain really don't process that? Is that what it is? Nobody should have to explain this to you. Why would you promote the idea of finding out that something is deadly only when it's too late? Do you play Russian roulette too? You take a 6-shooter, put one bullet in it, spin around, and keep pulling the trigger with the barrel stuck in your mouth? And think that just because you haven't been shot or shot yourself yet, you think there's no tangible reason for feeling afraid because it's not shooting you until bang. Oh, now there's a tangible, you dummy. No, we're going to evolve. We're not going to drag all this brainlessness into the future. Not in the 2020s. It's not going to happen. Lord. People, we need to look at people like this as enemies to evolution. These people who think like this are enemies to evolution. They refuse to deal with facts and realities. Forget about that. Ain't nothing cool about being dumb. So this person is acting like an expert. And how do you know if your gut feeling is rational? And how can you tell if a dog is nervous to the point of being aggressive? Listen to your gut first, then apply your intelligence. What does that mean? 1, you meet a strange dog. 2, your gut feeling is that something is off. But by all tangible evidence, he seems safe. No! They're never safe. No. Lord, this is what I'm talking about. We're not going to drag this type of brainlessness. Just because y'all love dogs so much, you feel compared to tell lies about them? How goofy is that? It's like children. That's like very childish. Oh, we love them, so we have to always say positive things about them. Get out of here. Apply your intellect. What have you learned in the past about approaching strange dogs? This is applying your intellect. A, approach cautiously. B, turn slightly to the side. As you approach them, walk sideways. You got to do this so it won't attack you. C, read the dog's body language. Is it relaxed? Is it wagging its tail? Is it stiff, unmoving? D, don't look them directly in the eye. So look away, walk towards them sideways without looking at them. I don't know how you're supposed to see whether it's relaxed or wiggling if you're not looking at them. So, look at them with your peripherals, I guess. Look at the wall, but, keep them in the side of your eye. This is goofy, dumb, brainless, insane. This is what I'm talking about. This is y'all's intelligence that we gonna leave behind. We're gonna evolve without you. Okay, we don't need you giving us and putting out information. Don't speak for us. Now look at this. E, let him come to you, not the other way around. I thought you just instructed them to approach the dog cautiously, turn sideways. Okay, all right. Don't hover your body over his. G, if you decide to reach towards him, do so slowly, palm down. Let him sniff your hand. They're giving these examples. Oh, what in the world? If you feel safe, H, if you feel it's safe to continue, listen to this. Begin by scratching under the chin or lower neck. Slowly proceed from there until it latches on to your face or your arm. God forbid if it's a kid and you giving these instructions, you're saying that dogs are safe as long as you do this? Look, if at any time the dog acts like he's finished with you or backs away, you should also back away. Should we be afraid of dogs? The answer to this question is sort of. Maybe not afraid, but always how are you cautious? If you're around a dog, how can you also be cautious? You've thrown caution out the window if you're inside of a home with a dog. If you're inside of anywhere with a dog. No. You're not allowed to pretend like you're being cautious, even though you brought a bully breed into your home. See, y'all not going to control the narrative. You're not going to control what's logical. You're not going to be in control at all. Not talking like that. That is ridiculous. Maybe not afraid, but always cautious. Listen to your instincts, those hunches. They are there to protect you. When it comes to strange dogs, we need to be careful. We need to forget sometimes. We tend to forget sometimes that dogs are animals. But yeah, that's not why they're dangerous though. Natural animals are far less aggressive towards us. Okay, again, stop lumping dogs in with animals. They're mutants. But they admit that dogs think differently than we do. As much as we love dogs, there are times when it's better to keep our distance with ones that we do not know. No, I don't care if you know the dog see you every day. We can prove that even if it's seen you every day, it's not safe. No dog is ever safe. This is not hard to understand. It's not hard to understand. And this worship of dogs, people, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. Why do they love these things so much, people? Can somebody tell me, what is there to love? They go on about dog love a lot. I've argued for years. Dogs don't love you. They love food. Okay? It has nothing to do with you. They love food. And all of the attention that dogs give you is food motivated. This is food beggary. Food motive. See the excitement? Each one of these dog owners has food. And this is a compilation of dogs getting excited for food. Well, this is the same attention that they show you when you don't have food. Like when you come home, right? They're moving, constantly moving, licking nonstop when they see you. This is what y'all praise so much. You put on a pedestal so much. This time, oh, look at how much attention he's showing me. Even when you don't have food. But this is not love. This is not affection. This is not affection. It's food beggary. Look at this. They're obsessed with food. They're mutants. Fact. And this is mutant excitement. This is not normal excitement for food. It's mutant excitement. Not normal. But you think it's love when they act like this, even though you don't have food. No. They view you as food. You're the dispenser, so they think of eating when they see you. Again, nobody should have to tell you this. So seeing you is the same as seeing food. You don't understand that? Dog lovers, do y'all seriously not understand that? Seeing you is the same as them seeing a bowl of food. The only thing they know is that you fork over food. That's why when you don't have nothing in your hands, they're always looking at your hands. They're always focused on your hands. They are hyper focused on your hands. Look at this so-called excitement. This is abnormal obsession right here. I need y'all to know that. This is mutant behavior. And it's not normal. It's not natural. So it's not cute. Ain't nothing cute about the dysfunction of a mutant. That's an inhumane thing to do and say. Y'all brought mutants onto the planet and you want to call it cute when they display abnormal mutant behavior and excitement? Oh, y'all, this one. And they always calling people like me inhumane. No, y'all inhumane. Well, for manipulating the public like this. Okay, y'all don't believe me. You see the title? Dogs getting excited over food. All the attention they show you. See, I know you dog lovers right now. You're saying, no, when I don't have food, they're always excited to see me. I don't need to have food. Lord. Y'all remember this? This is the same excitement. She don't have no food. But her presence registers food into this thing's worthless brain. That's where they're licking. There's the licking, just like they do the food. If you're there, they're going to lick your face. That's their way of begging for food. That's a fact, scientific fact. That excitement, I just showed you, that's food excitement. Because you don't do nothing. If you stand there, listen, let me tell you something. And dog lovers know this. They know this. If you never get around to giving that dog food, it will stop with all that excitement and just stand there and stare at you eventually. It will pay attention to you. It either keep behaving like this, or if it calms down, it's just going to stare at you nonstop. It's going to keep doing this until you feed it. Y'all all know this. Can we get confirmation on that? Y'all all know this. Isn't it? Am I wrong about this? The dog will stay focused on them. But they look at that as love. Love and affection. They interpret that as love and affection. And I believe a lot of them pretend like it's love and affection, but they do know that it's actually food obsession. Because y'all remember I did a video of dog lovers admitting that. Just Google it. You can find their own confessions where they say, I feel like my dog doesn't really love me, that it only loves food. Right? Oh, yes. Some of these dog lovers figure this out on their own without listening to me. They figure it out, and that's where I'm getting it from, largely. Okay, people are still in disbelief. Let us do something here. I think it's appropriate for this live stream. So what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to take what dog lovers cherish most about dogs and prove to them it's nothing but food beggary. It's nothing. It's not interested in you at all. That's why they can go from one owner to another and they don't think nothing about it. They don't think nothing about it. As long as they're getting food, they're fine. Okay, here's dog lovers themselves. Y'all admit to this. Dog only loves me for food and treats, somebody said. My dog only cares about food. My dog doesn't want my affection, only food. Yes. They realize, they've noticed that excitement goes away and the dog was actually begging for food. That's pathetic. I've talked about this several times and I always point out how pathetic and sad this is. Don't do this. It looks very bad to pretend in your mind that a mutant's obsession, abnormal obsession with food is love and affection towards you. Nothing is more embarrassing and foolish than that. Okay? The dog lover industry, y'all gonna have to do something. Y'all gonna have to invest in other pets. I believe this has a shelf life. The dog nuttery has a shelf life because it's not practical, it doesn't make sense, and it's against nature, especially how they exist in society today. Shout out to everybody able to join me. I'm glad I got this in. I felt good. Glad I got this in less than an hour. Hope y'all working hard, staying dog free, staying out of dog lovers' homes, staying out of their vehicles. And because you're doing that, you're safe. Okay, your family's safe. Good for you. Please continue to do that. Please don't randomly go around shaking hands. Soon as somebody reach their hand out, shake your hand, say COVID. COVID, COVID, COVID. I'm sick. You don't want this. COVID. Back up. We are justified, I would say, for the next 10, 20 years to justify no contact like that. Be careful grabbing handles, bars, doorknobs, and all that stuff. They put their dog grease and filth on everything. Okay? Protect yourselves and your families. And I look forward to seeing you on the next live stream as we continue with this crusade.